I'm one of your hosts, Audrey McClelland.
And I'm Ashley Erling, and I love seeing your, as the guys were all saying today, you're Lady in Red.
I'm a lady in red. I only have today and tomorrow to really amp it up.
That looks great.
Thank you.
I think that outfit looks great. I think
Thank
the
you.
skirt looks great. Again, as I mentioned the other day on this show, when I try to mimic your outfits, it doesn't work on me. But like,
yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. But that looks so cute.
Well, it was funny because I was in the kitchen this morning and we had Dr. Carrie LaPlante from URI in, and she's like, "Oh my God, I love your outfit." I was like, "Oh my God, Amazon!
Yeah, I know.
$18, Target 20." And then I'm like, if this was like Saint Laurent and it was like $2,000,
Would you be like,
I would not be doing that.
Saint Laurent,
I'm like, but women get so excited over like a really good deal.
A good deal is like our love language.
That's completely.
That is our love language.
Yes.
I even said to you today that I was looking for something.
Oh, well, yes. Did you find one?
Well, I found one.
Okay.
And it should be fine. I didn't order it yet, but I was like, if you have any links for any though, let me know.
Yes.
That's like, that's our love
That's
language.
what I love to do. That's what you love to do.
Yeah.
We're good at that.
You know, speaking of love, it turns out we live in the, according to some, most romantic state in the United States.
I love that. Number one.
I'm surprised because most people don't know where Rhode Island is if you don't live here. Like we talked about with the housewives the other day.
Yes.
That they, you know, like are making a big deal about Rhode Island on the map because nobody knows where it is. But when you live here, you get it.
You totally get it.
Like,
yes. It's beautiful.
Why would you go anywhere else?
Well, I wasn't kidding. Like this morning, I genuinely was driving here, and like it was a beautiful view on my drive-in, and I did think to myself,
I know that used to be my ride-in.
So you know exactly what I mean. And there are just some mornings where it's so beautiful, and like the sun is just beaming on the water, and it's stunning.
This time of year, when that sun starts to come up just a little bit earlier, and we're catching it on our ride-in, and it's over the water, it's like
beautiful.
I mean, you couldn't be anywhere better.
No, and it is very romantic. And then like even when we were reading about that, being the most romantic, it was that I guess TripAdvisor literally looked at how many people had written romantic about certain places.
That's what I liked about this study. It wasn't like an algorithm of what people described about a place. It was actually taken from people's reviews of their stays in them, which to me feels very like genuine.
I was gonna say it feels real.
So out of the entire United States, I guess, Rhode Island had the most references towards romance.
Yeah, and like, you know, I mean, I get it. Like we have Newport mansions, which are so romantic and beautiful. And obviously the Gilded Age has helped kind of get that more and more attention on them. But even just like the small little towns that you and I love, like a Bristol or a Wickford, like there's these little gems throughout the state that are just perfection.
It feels like a different pace of living.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of like the go, or just like strip malls or whatever. Like we have a lot of charm and character. And I feel like that adds to it. Plus all the great restaurants and hotels. Like we have so many great restaurants and hotels.
Because I know we're about Spotlight, New England, and you grew up in Connecticut, and I haven't. Do you feel Connecticut is like very much in line with Rhode Island like that too?
No, not. So I grew up in more of like a city in Connecticut.
Okay.
And I mean, where I specifically lived was like nice, like it was on a lake, so it was a little more like out of the fray.
But are there pockets and little like
no? There are, of course there are. Connecticut has some amazing
I do love
cities and towns.
Yeah.
But you have to kind of go to like the more of the outskirt ones than like the major cities.
Yeah.
You know, but like even. You know, I hate to compare, but like Hartford to Providence. Like Providence has so much going on, and Hartford is still kind of trying to get to that type of a level, I would say. But I do think that New England in general, to me, is like so romantic.
It is like a New Hampshire stay, like a Vermont. I mean, it's like Hallmark at its finest.
It really is.
Romance.
Like this is what people write books about, make movies about. I mean, that's how it is.
Yeah.
Like that.
Christmas in July. That's all it started from.
It's Christmas.
A beautiful New England.
So if you haven't made your Valentine's plans yet, just know whatever you do, it's in the most romantic state in the United States. So you're going to be good.
You can't go wrong with whatever you do. But don't tell your Valentine. Have like them do something super special.
Yes.
But stick around because we have a great guest coming up next. We're very excited to talk with her. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Spotlight New England. We are excited for our next guest. We have Jan Iacobucci with us. She is Mrs. Rhode Island 2025 and also Mrs. America Top 6, which is unbelievable.
Thank you.
And not only those incredible accolades, but you also, which we personally love, we're moms. You are the founder of Wellness of Rhode Island. But on top of that, and I wrote them all down because I know how important these all are, especially too when you're really chit-chatting with other moms, a certified postpartum doula, a lactation counselor, which I wish I had you when I had all my kids, a newborn care specialist, which is so incredible, and you're also, which I think is so great too, a child passenger safety technician, which I was always, so you have all these amazing things about you. So thanks for being here.
Yes, I've been looking forward to it. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We met about a year ago at the Glimmer of Hope.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Jan and I just hit it off immediately, just started chatting at one of the tables. And I was just so impressed by all that you did and just all that you embodied. So, but let's kick it off with the Mrs. Rhode Island because I was saying to Ashley beforehand, I'd love for you to share more. We don't have a Mrs. Rhode Island. We don't have a Mrs. Rhode Island pageant here.
No, we don't anymore. So back 20 years ago, or even more than that, Mrs. Rhode Island was such a big deal.
Yes.
Such a big pageant here.
My peers, being a part of Mrs. Rhode Island. Maybe I'm not remembering correctly, but I feel like I've seen
Yes.
It was big.
Yes.
I grew up, actually, my aunt, my godmother was Mrs. Rhode Island. So that kind of inspired me to want to do this in the future. And I just remember being brought up into what pageantry was and the community and the beauty and so many great platforms, what you can do. So it's something that I always aspired to do.
Right.
And I finally had the timing with life, children, marriage this last year to look a little bit more into it. And with that, I found that Rhode Island didn't have a pageant, which was such a bummer because I feel like that's such a part of the experience. And when I looked a little bit further, I saw they were having applications for Rhode Island. So I said, let me just take a shot, send my application out, a headshot, a little bio, and everything that I'm doing in the community.
Okay.
And you send that off, and hopefully they pick you. So I didn't hear anything for about 3 to 4 months.
Oh my God.
So
you probably forgot about it.
Yes.
At that point, I was like, maybe they're not even going to pick a Mrs. Rhode Island.
Oh, true.
Who knows? Because you need sponsorship. There's a lot that goes into it behind the scenes. And the night before my birthday, I got the letter saying I was chosen and that they would see me in Vegas in August.
Oh my God.
That's such an incredible story. So they didn't even call and you would think there would be more to that, but because they don't have that here in this state specifically, what did it feel like to get the letter?
It was amazing.
Yes.
My kids are so funny. They're like, I remember the day you told us you were Mrs. Rhode Island. It was on that couch. And they are they're amazing. They take such pride in the title as well. My whole family does. But it felt surreal. I was like, wow, what an amazing experience. What an amazing title. But what now, what can I do with this title? What impact can I make? What change? How will it elevate my platform for maternal mental health, and what can I do to put those pieces together.
What was it like being with all of the misses together at the pageant? I mean, because all of you come with different platforms, and but you're all obviously the top of your game and what you do. How did it feel like to be with all of these women that are just as invested in really being to give back and do good?
It was so empowering. I think people expect her to paint a picture like, oh, it might be a little bit catty,
right?
Yes.
Right.
Honestly, we had such an amazing group of women. We still talk. We're still getting together. I text them weekly because we've gone through so much. It's crazy what that 9 to 10 day period did, but we were able to bond, to cry, to step out of our comfort zone. And it was just a surreal experience where now I have this Rhode Island platform, but we really have a USA platform. And how are we all going to help each other out? So
I love that.
Yeah, we were able to bond and really, really elevate our experience by working with each other rather than against each other.
And in the competition,
incredible.
you actually came in the top 6, right?
I did.
That's amazing.
That's unbelievable.
My goal, I was like, please make it to top 15. That would be amazing.
Well,
yeah, right.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm sitting up there. Then I started shaking when they called top 6, and I was the last person to be called as top 6, and all I could hear was my family screaming and going crazy and going wild. And at that point, I probably blanked out. Because then you have the onstage questions and all of that. But it was just so surreal. And to make top 6, to really have Rhode shine. Was priceless to me.
Rhode Island is having such a moment. Like we talk all the time about how we know how special Rhode Island is. All the people here, we meet people like you who are so genuine, and it just like solidifies how special this state is. But I feel like now we're kind of getting more of a national spotlight going on with all of the things that we have, different TV shows that film here, like Gilded Age, and putting a spotlight on Newport, which we always knew, but people didn't. Now we're gonna have our own housewives,
right?
Like,
which is amazing.
We're so excited. I'm already a super fan. It hasn't even come out yet. It's like I talk about it like every day. There's nothing new, but I talk about it every day. But it's fun to like have all these cool things going on, and this is just like yet another thing that is like Rhode Island in the spotlight, doing big things. Even though we're a small state, we are so mighty.
I keep saying that. I'm like, small state, large impact.
I love that. That's great. And like talking about impact, let's talk about wellness to Rhode Island, because really just tell everyone like a little bit more about it, what you do, and really what made you want to do this.
So I'm a mom of 3, ages now 16, 12, and 10. So it was really through my own postpartum experience I realized I needed more of community. I needed stability. I needed a place to go with moms who got it, like truly got it. They were living it with me, and I couldn't find that. It wasn't until my 3rd child, I want to say he was about 2 years old, when then my friends starting having children experiencing this, I said, I need to create more of a safe space for people to open up, to know what their resources are here in Rhode Island. How can I help them? So that's kind of how it started back in 2018 when I became a certified postpartum doula. And as I started working in homes, I realized moms and parents and grandparents even, they needed more. Jan, you should start this. That was like the year of Jan, do this.
Jan.
I was like, okay, what else can I do? But they really, really inspired me to give more and to educate families more on the possibilities, the resources, and what you truly need postpartum and beyond. So it started in 2018, and we opened up our first wellness center 3 years ago.
It's unbelievable.
As of last week, and we incorporate prenatal yoga, birth 101, mom groups, which is where my heart is. We're talking about all the hard stuff and the wins. And then we have other workshops too, like CPR, intro to solids, when you're starting to feed your baby solid food. So we kind of cover it all from birth to postpartum to toddlerhood and beyond.
I mean, honestly, just like speak. I mean, I know we were talking about this before we came on, but we weren't on, so it doesn't count.
No. You can count. You say it again.
But I'm telling you, like, I really genuinely felt so lost. I was the first of my friends to have kids, and I mean, it's actually almost making me very emotional to think about it. Just how lost I was, and how I genuinely didn't have a community. I didn't have people to talk to. I didn't live, in Rhode Island at that time, so I was even more alone. And like, you love this little being so much, but you're also not prepared for your hormone changes, for just simple things that you just take for granted in your everyday life right now, that you just my mind went blurry, and I had no one to talk to. So hearing you say all this stuff, even miscarrying, I had nobody to talk to, and I felt so isolated and alone. I'm like, why doesn't anybody talk about this?
Absolutely.
So the maternal mental health piece, like, I can't.
And it's so important.
Say enough how important it is.
And like you're saying, through every stage, from birth to loss to pregnancy to postpartum, we are covering it all. So I was actually a first-time mom, and when I was a first-time mom, I had no friends that had children either, which was really, really difficult. Like, talk about feeling isolated during an isolated time, as it is. And it was really, really important and passionate to me to now be a form of stability within the home. How can I be that stability for each parent, building their confidence through education, and just being there along the ride, checking in on them, making sure they don't need resources like couples counseling, maternal mental health resources, or pelvic pelvic floor therapy, occupational therapy. There's so much, even lactation, that they don't know about, or they don't know what is within reach.
Right.
So I kind of fill that void from birth until their 6 to 8 week appointment.
Okay.
Just trying to be stability and offer them this foundation of support.
That's amazing. It really is
really beautiful.
Like such an incredible resource for women. I mean, you must have like everybody in the state coming to you. Like, how does it work? If people are watching,
I think everybody I know now that's like pregnant, I'm like, oh my God.
Well, literally, like,
want to have a baby?
It's like you think like, well, gosh, like I want to go here. I don't even have a baby. I want to go here. It just sounds like such an amazing community. Like, how does it work?
So really, I like to say start building your tribe as soon as you start having that conversation with your partner that you want children and you want a family. And from that point on, I always say, I was like, as soon as you get the positive pregnancy test, reach out. Especially if you want to work with me specifically or one of our team members, because people are being very proactive, which I love. But we are booking in advance. So learn what type of like style you want, whether that be a postpartum doula, a birth doula, both, lactation, what you want to incorporate, and really draw up a plan.
What does a doula do?
Yeah, so I'm a postpartum doula. I'm actually a birth doula as well, perinatal. But there's all different forms of doula. There's actually abortion doulas, there's death doulas, birth doulas. I like to concentrate on postpartum just because it has that special place in my heart, and I feel like there is a lot of education I love to teach.
Absolutely.
But a doula, what we essentially do is we mother the mother. So we're making sure that she is physically and emotionally taken care of throughout this process and this transition into motherhood, which is so special.
That's really
and you've been
amazing.
like not only on the East Coast, but you've been on the West Coast too with your clients.
Yeah, it's been an amazing experience just starting this here in Rhode Island, now knowing it's catching on in other states, and being able to travel with athletes and celebrities, and it's been a journey, one that I hold close to my heart. I have an amazing family that is able to support me, and they're like, go do it.
That's so awesome.
Shine, which is priceless. But yeah, I've had such a wild journey, especially this last year, from Mrs. Rhode Island to traveling with professional athletes and celebrities. It's been
rewarding.
For you, crazy.
Like, for you too, it's like the common denominator. I mean, we think like celebrities are just like us.
1,000%.
I mean, would you say like we're all like this journey of motherhood, parenthood in general? We're all in the same boat.
You are you. You are me. You are a top athlete or a celebrity. Everyone is going through the growing transition of becoming a parent. And with that comes different hormones, comes different transitions, comes different pressures with your job, your family, your friendships. Everyone's going through it. It doesn't matter what status you think someone is. It's really important to know that everyone's baseline is, what do I do?
What do I do with so much better to hear that?
Me too. And I think that was also really, really important to me, knowing that I had my son at 22. If I was 22, or if it was a mom that I worked with that was 42, we all went through the same thing. And I used to look at that differently from a younger age, but honestly, everyone's going through it, no matter what stage you are in life.
I feel like we could chat with you for an hour.
It's so interesting and really like so necessary. You know,
it really is.
It's like having that support, because people in your life, I'm sure, try to support you as best they can. But you don't have somebody who's like necessarily dedicated to just like making sure like your ABCs are like all like taken care of.
And we have like the concept of a team. That's how I always say, I'm a part of your team. I'm not making the choices for you, whether you want a bottle feed, if you want a nurse, if you want to
you're just
train.
Supporting.
I'm giving you the tools so you make the decision, and then I guide you through it. I'm a professional guide through your postpartum experience.
You have such like a nice nature about you too.
I know.
Like bedside manner. Like, can you just be a life coach? Could that be your next Jan do this?
Put it on Jan on every week. Advice from Jan.
How funny.
Where can people find you, Jan?
So you can find me on Instagram, at wellnested_RI, but also wellnestedri.com. We like to update with all the classes, workshops on our social media. So reach out if you have questions or you just need some redirection.
Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
This is so great, so helpful.
Great.
And stick around. We have more to come with Spotlight New England.
Welcome back to Spotlight New England. So if you are doing a little like Valentine shopping, or just shopping in general, there is a great new store that just opened at Garden City, which we had the honor of helping to kind of kick off their grand opening.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Which was great. There's a new Kendra Scott store at Garden City Center, and it's the first one in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
They have a huge following nationwide, but first one locally here. So we had to go and check it out and learn a little bit more. Check it out.
We are the first location in Rhode Island. We offer fashion jewelry, fine jewelry, and demi-fine jewelry. And we have our color bar where you can custom make a fashion jewelry piece. So our brand's really special. Our 3 pillars are fashion, family, and philanthropy. So we do a lot with the community, and we offer give back events because we love to give back to our community. Community is super important. We are giving back to some organizations and some really special people this weekend. Tomorrow morning, we're kicking off our morning giving back to the Olivia Joan Foundation. Olivia is, I believe she's 3 or 4 years old. She has a rare genetic disorder. It's GN01. And she is, I think, one of 300 in the world who have this rare genetic disorder. So we're really looking forward to giving back to her family and raising awareness around this disorder, and hopefully having people understand and raise more awareness so we can find a cure. I'm so excited that we have one in Rhode Island. I feel like we really, really, really needed this. I feel like we can do so much. Though it's a little state, we're mighty, and I'm excited to help our community out through this wonderful brand.
So that was such a fun event.
It was, and they really do have a piece for everybody.
They do.
Yeah.
They had
beautiful pieces.
They had some beautiful pieces. I like the whole story behind it. We got to meet with the team, and we learned a little bit more really about the brand.
Yeah.
About the woman behind the brand, Kendra Scott.
It was really
herself.
a Kendra Scott.
And they were just so complimentary of her as a person.
Yeah.
Which I always appreciate.
Nice to hear.
Makes you feel a little more connected to something.
Yeah.
And you were saying that, they have a huge following amongst like tweens and teens as well, not just women.
No, I mean, my daughter was the one that had for Christmas, she had 4 Kendra Scott things on her list.
Yeah.
And their price points are obviously range, but, I said to them, I'm like, wow, on TikTok, you guys are so big among the tween crowd. And they agreed with me. They're like, we don't know, it's just really has taken off. Yeah. And they're all those beautiful little, like the gemstone, the birthstone necklaces, and they also have rings. And we had our friend Jackie come, Miss Petite Pilates, and she brought her daughter, who's exactly around Victoria's age. And the first thing Jackie said to us was, well, Jackie's been on the show too.
Yeah.
But she's like, oh my God, my daughter, it's all she talks about.
Yeah.
So it really is this little cult following by these tween girls.
And I think it's kind of nice too, because then it's something you can do with your daughter.
Yeah.
As a mother-daughter, and there's not all that many things that are just kind of easy to do like that. You don't have to twist their arm once they start to get to be that age you want to do together, and you can personalize a lot of the stuff they have.
Right, like that color bar was cool.
Color bar is a big thing that they do. They hold parties, color bar parties, and people can choose what they want to go, which gemstones to go in. So really nice to have them here in Rhode Island now. And a nice brand, a nice addition to Garden City, aka one of our favorite places ever.
I know, I was going to say, Garden City is just they are doing so amazing, bringing in some of the best, just I'm
actually going there after work today.
Are you? Of course.
Yeah, because it's Mia's birthday. I have to go shopping.
Ugh, maybe you can go to Sephora for me and get me something.
You know what? Ever since you mentioned Sephora the other day, I've had it in my head.
I need a brown eyeliner, and they're out of the one over here.
Are they?
In Seekonk. They're out of brown and they're out of charcoal.
I love it. Sephora and everything else.
Garden City, we love you.
Thank you for joining us today on Spotlight New England. We'll see you next time.